Welcome back to Real Unsolved Crimes, where we dive into the most disturbing mysteries that continue to haunt us. Today's episode takes us to Atlanta, Georgia, a city marked by music, culture, and growth. But between 1979 and 1981, Atlanta was a city living in fear. As the bodies of children, mostly African American boys, began to turn up, it became clear something terrible was happening. This is the chilling case of the Atlanta child murders. It began in July 1979. The body of 14-year-old Edward Hope Smith was discovered in a wooded area. Just days later, another body, 13-year-old Alfred Evans, was found nearby. Both boys had been missing for days. Both had been killed. 2 deaths. 2 tragedies. But it wasn't just coincidence. Atlanta police didn't yet know it, but they were at the start of a killing spree that would grip the city for the next 2 years. The victims kept coming. 7-year-old LaTonya Wilson. 10-year-old Aaron Weish. 11-year-old Patrick Rogers. The list grew, week by week, month by month. Children, pre-teens, and teenagers, all vanishing. Some disappeared from the streets. Others from bus stops. Several were last seen on their way to run errands or visit friends. Some bodies were found dumped in rivers, others in wooded areas. The methods of killing varied: strangulation, blunt force trauma, asphyxiation. But the victims had one thing in common: they were young, black, and from low-income neighborhoods. And the city was terrified. The FBI joined the case. A task force was assembled. Press conferences were held. But for months, police had no concrete leads, no witnesses, and no suspects. Parents became afraid to let their children out of their sight. Community trust in law enforcement began to crumble. Many believed the crimes weren't being taken seriously because of the victims' race and background. But the reality was, no one knew who was killing Atlanta's children. Or why. By mid-1981, over 28 victims had been connected to what the media now dubbed the Atlanta child murders. Public pressure intensified. Atlanta was in crisis. Then came a breakthrough, or at least, that's what authorities believed at the time. On the night of May 22, 1981, officers staked out a bridge over the Chattahoochee River, believing the killer might return to dump another body. Around 2:50 a.m., they heard a loud splash. Moments later, a car slowly crossed the bridge. Inside was a 23-year-old man named Wayne Williams. He told officers he was a talent scout looking for a new singer. But his story didn't add up. 2 days later, the body of Nathaniel Cater, one of the most recent victims, was found downstream. The timeline matched. And Williams had reportedly been seen with Cater before. Williams was brought in for questioning. Fibers found in his car, his home, and on his dog were matched to those discovered on several victims. While circumstantial, the evidence was compelling. In June 1981, Williams was arrested. But here's where the story grows more complex. Wayne Williams was only charged with the murders of 2 adults, Nathaniel Cater and Jimmy Ray Payne. He was never officially tried for the killings of any children. Still, in 1982, Williams was found guilty and sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms. Authorities quickly declared the Atlanta child murders solved. But not everyone agreed. Many community members, activists, and journalists raised doubts. How could one man have killed so many children in such different ways, across such a wide geographic area? Some suggested there were multiple killers. Others pointed to the Ku Klux Klan, who had allegedly made threats against black children at the time. Still others claimed a cover-up, that Williams was a convenient scapegoat. In later interviews, Williams insisted on his innocence. He claimed he was framed. that the fiber evidence was unreliable, that the police were under pressure to solve the case quickly, and that he was an easy target. And then, decades later, new evidence surfaced. In 2019, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms and Police Chief Erika Shields announced the reopening of the case. New forensic technology, specifically advanced DNA testing, could shed light on some of the remaining unsolved murders. The hope? To finally provide answers to the families who never got justice. Today, Wayne Williams remains in prison. But questions linger. Was he truly responsible for all 28 murders? Or did the real killer, or killers, get away? For the families of the victims, closure remains elusive. Some believe Williams is guilty. Others are convinced the truth still lies buried in old files, lost witnesses, or ignored evidence. The Atlanta child murders are more than a true crime mystery. They are a window into a time of fear, pain, and injustice. A reminder of how society treats its most vulnerable, and how easily justice can be obscured. To this day, names like Luby Getter, Terry Pugh, and Yusef Bell remain etched into Atlanta's collective memory. Not as just victims, but as children whose lives were stolen, whose families still grieve, and whose stories still demand answers. If you know anything at all, about what happened in Atlanta from 1979 to 1981, contact the authorities. Because these children deserve more than a footnote. They deserve truth. Thank you for listening to Real Unsolved Crimes. If this story moved you, share it, review it, and keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay aware, stay safe, and remember, behind every mystery is a life that mattered.